We'd like to
Recording in progress.
We'd like to welcome you today to the Weber County Board of Commission meeting, Board of Commissioners. We've got special people in the audience today. We hope you're all excited to be here as we are to have you here. We're going to start this meeting today with a Pledge of Allegiance by Stacy Skeen, invocation by Mr. Ricky Hatch, and the thought of the day is by Commissioner Farr. So, Stacy, we'll turn time over to you.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our kind Father in heaven, we are grateful to come before Thee this morning with this opportunity to conduct the affairs of the people of Weber County. We are thankful for the responsibilities that the people have assigned to the leaders of the county and to the employees, and pray that as public servants we may conduct the affairs of the county with integrity and according to true principles in preserving and protecting the rights of our citizens. We ask that that will be with those who are participating today, that we can have a full and open and civil discourse, and we are grateful for those who were involved and who contribute so much to this county, both as county employees as well as citizens. And we are thankful for the moisture, the rain and snow that we've received recently, and pray that, humbly ask for more to help us to dig ourselves out of the drought situation. We acknowledge our reliance upon Thee. We pray for those who are serving in harm's way in our military and in law enforcement and first responders and so many other responsibilities that bring safety and protection to our way of life. And we ask that Thou will bless them. And we say this humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'm going to take a personal privilege. May 10th is a special day for our household. 15 years ago today, our one and only granddaughter, Mccarty, was named after my mom, was born. And we're very blessed to have her, because at the time that she was born, she was only given about a 20% chance of living. And we were actually there when she was born, and the Air Med came and took her right from the delivery room over to the primary children's intensive care NIC unit. And she spent 3 months in the NIC unit. And about every night was a celebration when we heard that she had made it through. And that went on for a period of time, and she now operates on one lung because of health issues she had when she was born. But at 15, we're very blessed because of the medical treatment and God's good grace that we're fortunate to have her in our household. And I just wanted to make sure that she knew that she's very special to us on this 15th birthday. That's my thought, Mr. Chairman.
That's a great thought, and I want to follow that up with how much we love and appreciate Mccarty. She's been around us a lot since we've been here, and she's a special young lady. She's on the high school golf team this year. And me and Commissioner Harvey, we love her, don't we? Mm-hmm. She's a great young lady.
Oh, thank you.
So you're fortunate. You almost looked like you were going to say something there, Commissioner Harvey.
Well, I'll get it in. Don't worry.
Well, and I wanted to especially make recognition, because I know that Commissioner Harvey had a similar issue with a grandbaby this past week. So
That's true.
those aren't
It brings it home, doesn't it?
those aren't easy times. So yeah, it brings back memories.
It is. Boy, it's amazing what they can do nowadays
It
to
is.
save these young babes, isn't it?
Oh boy.
Oh,
We're really fortunate.
No.
we are. I agree with that. We're
Anyway.
all fortunate. All right, thanks, Commissioner Faur. We'll go to item E on our agenda, which is public comments related to what's on the agenda. We'd love to have anybody stand. We have a very famous politician in the audience today that's running for a commission. John, we're glad to have you here. Anyway, anybody else would like to stand, now'd be your time. All right, don't see any, so we'll move on to item F, which is our consent items. The consent items today are requests for approvals of warrants and, just the warrants today in the amount of, as listed. Item 2 is request for approval of purchase orders, $107,162. Item 3 is a request for ACH payments from the U.S. Bank in the amount of $242,984. Item 4 is approval of the minutes of May 3rd, 2022. Item 5 is request for approval of new business licenses. Item 6 is a request to sell a part of surplus property identified as parcel 14-023-0006. Item 7 is a request for approval of a memorandum of understanding by and between Weber County and United States Forest Service, allowing the U.S. Forest Service agents to enforce state and local laws in Weber County. We do that one every year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. So, Ricky, would you like to chime in on these warrants and purchase orders?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We issued 12 purchase orders this week for $107,000. 41% of that amount, $44,000, is to purchase furniture for the Public Defender's Office. 23%, or $25,000, is for the library, which will go towards weather sealing and graffiti guard. And then we had 2 items at $10,000, or 9% of the total. Property management PO for the Weber Center janitorial service, and then the Golden Spike Event Center purchasing concessions. For checks this week, we issued 214 checks for $2.5 million. 40% of that amount, or $1 million, is health, dental, disability, and vision insurance for employees and retirees. 20%, or $509,000, is for the 1200 West Road construction in Marriott Slaterville. 13%, or $335,000, is corridor preservation reimbursement to North Ogden for the 2600 North project. And then 6%, or $155,000, was the Easy Ramp Awards that were sent out. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ricky. Commissioners, comments, questions?
No, I'm good with it all.
Great. I'd like to make a motion.
I'm
Mr.
ready to
Chair.
receive that motion.
Great. Great. Then I'll make that motion that we approve those consent items as read, F like Foxtrot 1 through and including 7.
Very good.
And I'll second that.
I've got a motion and a second. All in favor of the consent items, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. They're approved. All right, we'll go to action items. G1. First item is a request for final approval of Tater Landing Phase 2 subdivision located at 2025 South, 3940 West. Boy, Mr. Scott Perks, we've been messing around with this a long time.
We have. Yeah, this is the second phase that's coming to you guys for final approval. We approved Phase 1A a couple months back, and they've been working on some subdivision improvements, including their lift station, which will service not only their development but others in the region as well, and they're nearing completion on that. But this is Phase 2 final approval. It consists of 20 lots, and I'll show this here on your screen here in just a second if that'll pull up. Maybe. There we go. So Phase 2, you can see here in the bold lots, these are 20 lots that are continuing off of this existing Phase 1A portion. This request is also to dedicate 6.08 acres of open space for long-term ag purposes, and you can see that here in this cross-hatching. This piece here was already dedicated as part of the Phase 1 dedication, and that's already in place. So all of this so far will be our open space for these first 2 phases. As part of the final approval, they've also submitted a guarantee improvement agreement, which is in the amount of $502,507.28. That's already been deposited into escrow and is meant to serve as guarantee for the improvements on this second phase. So this request was forwarded with a positive recommendation from our Planning Commission in West Weber, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have.
Commissioners, questions?
Question I have, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead. Commissioner.
So you didn't show the hash out mark on the, I guess, the first phase of the open space. I just wondered what's the total acreage involved with the open space?
So the total acreage between all 5 phases on this is 55.95 acres.
They all contiguous?
They are all contiguous. You can see that actually here. It's not as clear on this phase 2 document, but everything in my cursor here is part of that agricultural open space. It represents 58% of the total, so the entire project is 109 acres, and they're preserving 58 acres as open space. So more than 50% is being dedicated.
So almost 50, over 50%.
We're over 50%, 58
Yeah.
actually.
And it appears that that's with that layout, it's a farmable piece.
It is contiguous, easier to irrigate and farm with large implements.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's my questions, Mr. Chair.
Great. Commissioner Harvey, you have any questions?
No, that answers my question too, the fact that it's a farmable piece, and so that basically takes that density off. And I'll have some other questions later, Mr. Perks, regarding TDRs
Sure.
and our discussion as it continues there. But this is a great point to lead with that.
Very good. Well, if that's the case, and there's no questions, we're ready for a motion.
Motion to approve the final approval for Taylor Landing Phase 2, consisting of 20 lots, about approximately 2025 south and 3940 west.
Very good.
And I'll second that.
And I have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 They're approved.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Scott.
Commissioners. Appreciate it.
Action item 2 is request for approval of contract between Weber County and Concord Theatricals to secure licensing rights for the Ogden Musical Theater intended production of The Secret Garden. Mrs. Cassie Bybee.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This is for our spring concert version show that we will be doing in 2023. So it's the end of February, the 23rd through the 26th. And this is just to secure the rights to be able to perform that musical.
When we
The
do
Secret
something
Garden.
like this, Cassie, what does that cost us? What do
It
you
di-
pay for that right?
Well, this is just the rights for that musical is over 5,000, just slightly over 5,000.
So 5,000. Well, so that's not.
And that varies
Huge.
because it depends on the run of the show, how many
Right.
performances. So like our summer performance, depending on the show that you're doing, that would run us anywhere 8, and we've played upwards of 12,000 for the rights of
So
a
a
show.
show that you're doing this summer, Shrek, what would you pay for something like that?
I believe that was just under 9,000 for the rights of
9.
Shrek.
All right.
And we're trying to secure currently the rights for 2023 for our summer show Hairspray, but it's a Broadway touring. Broadway is touring, currently touring Hairspray, and they're down at the Eccles in Salt Lake in April. So
That's a show put together that tours.
a
Right.
Broadway show. And so because they are actually having a Broadway performance of Hairspray in Salt Lake, they have to determine if they're going to allow us to show that, even though it's in Ogden, which would be in July and August. They haven't given us those rights yet. So we may have to change that performance. We're looking into other shows that we may perform next summer.
Well, it's an interesting business you're in, and people don't understand the quality of some of this stuff we do here. It's really,
Thank you.
really great.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jim Harvey, this is in your portfolio.
I've got no questions. Appreciate that, Cass, and trust you. Mr. Chair, with her presentation today and with what I know behind the scenes on this, it's without reservation that I would make a motion that we approve the contract between Weber County and Concord Theatricals to secure the license for the Secret Garden for the Ogden Musical Theater.
Second.
Very good. I have a motion and a second for that item. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Kathy.
you, thank you.
Okay, item 3 on our agenda today is approval of contract binding between Weber County and Miss Rodeo Ogden Queen Committee to hold the Miss Rodeo Utah competition at the Golden Spike Arena. Duncan Olson. You know, Duncan, there's once in a while a diamond out there that we hold, and this is one of those diamonds. Don't screw this up. We want to keep this one forever.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that we've done for a long time. I'm sure Commissioner Harvey was a part of bringing it out there. We've always kind of had that partnership with Ogden City and Miss Rodeo Ogden to make sure that we, took a back seat so the rodeo could be the main star of the show. We ended up last year and the year before just being super busy with all the layovers, and I think we worked harder than actually having to put on an event. So it's a little unique for us, but this is just kind of our normal contract that we've done with them the last several years. We try to help out and give some open writing time to their auctions, but it's kind of in trade in being a sponsor of this event. So.
Great. Commissioners, question?
It gives, for the Pioneer Days Committee in Ogden City and those who put on that celebration, it's a nice way for Weber County to participate at very little cost and yet get the notoriety and certainly supports the community with what they do. And gives also, queening is for families, a very expensive endeavor. I hear, buying uniforms for football and that kind of stuff gets expensive. You don't know anything about
Buy a dress.
buying expense until you've bought rodeo queen clothes on top of what it takes to a horse. The cheapest thing about buying a horse is buying the horse.
Yeah, trucks and trailers and pastures, and
It's true.
it never stops, does it?
No, so if you're ready, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
this is your portfolio, go ahead.
Then I'll make a motion that we approve the contract between Weber County and the Ogden Pioneer Queen Committee to hold the Miss Rodeo Utah competition at the Golden Spike again.
And I'll second that with a comment.
Yes, go ahead.
It's Miss Rodeo Utah, Miss Rodeo Ogden Queen contests have always been something that's over the past number of years, long time, have been really the kickoff for Pioneer Days, and it's a great to participate in this for the county.
Mr.
So
Chair,
it's a second.
Yes.
one of the things too, because we're so involved and we provide these opportunities, the girls that participate at these competitions are the ones that usually are the top finishers, if not the top finisher in Miss Rodeo America down in Las Vegas. And so we're still represented very well. I guess Las Vegas, I should say Dallas now, right?
Really? I thought it was still in Vegas.
No, it's going to move to Dallas, yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. Very sorry.
Well, good. All right, I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Duncan. Very good. I need a motion for a public hearing.
So moved.
Second?
All right, we've made a motion to adjourn this meeting and go into a public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's approved. So we're now in a public hearing to consider and take action on a request to vacate the side and rear 10 feet of an easement of Lot 11 in the Cottonwood Hills Estate Subdivision Phase 2. Felix Laverino.
Yes, thank you.
Felix, go ahead. Time's
Good
yours.
morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
What we have before you is a request from the owner of this property to vacate the south side and the rear 10-foot public utility easements within his property. His intention is to build a pole barn back there, and so this is kind of a preparatory step for him. So what we've done in this case is reviewed it with the affected entities, particularly the Rocky Mountain Power, Questar Gas, Liberty Pipeline, basically making sure that these entities are notified of this vacation. There's been no responses, no as far as opposition, and so we also have an ordinance that will execute this vacation. It is the county commission's responsibility to find that good cause exists for this vacation, and the public interest or any person will not be materially injured by this proposed vacation. It's staff's recommendation and county engineering recommendation to approve this request, and that concludes what I had to say.
Commissioners, questions?
Question, if I might.
Go ahead, Gage.
So, Felix, you mentioned that you'd send out letters, notifications to power company, gas company, et cetera. Do we receive anything in writing to affirm that they've received that, or I think you said we didn't have any response?
Yeah, so
from a legal standpoint, I get concerned that it might be better to have something actually in writing from them in case it ever came back where they would not acknowledge that we'd sent them anything.
yes.
Is
Yes,
that
so
something you've addressed, or?
it is, and in this particular circumstance, I may have misspoken, but we did get some letters from those utility
Okay.
companies back. So, as far as objection or that's where.
So we do have something in the file then, in case this was ever to come up.
Yes, and their approval of this.
That's my question.
Good. Commissioner Harv, anything?
I'm satisfied. I believe the petitioner's here if you want to call on him.
Yeah, well, if there's anybody in the audience who would like to comment to this, now would be the time. Yeah, feel free to. Oh, you got to come up to the mic. Yeah, you got to come up to the mic. Introduce yourself.
How you doing? I'm Chad Hill. Nice to meet you. I know Jim Harvey well.
Where do you live, Chad?
Well,
Is this your property?
this is my property. This is where I live now. I grew up in the South Ogden area, my Jim. So anyway, yeah, I mean, Felix kind of took care of everything. I don't have any other comments. I went and got letters from all the utility providers saying they're okay. We still have the easement across the front of the property that has all the utilities in it. Guess just in some of these old developments, they put them on multiple sides. So just trying to get rid of it so we can, don't have to leave a 10-foot space to build a pole barn on the side of our house. So,
Makes sense.
yep.
Makes sense.
But unless you have any questions for me, I think you covered it.
Don't see any.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, gentlemen.
You got one? Hold on, we do.
Oh,
Commissioner Harvey.
It's not going to be used for a juvenile delinquent training center, is it, Mr. Hill?
Absolutely not, although I should, right?
Yeah. Well, you're schooled in it. I just. No, we're good.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Others that care to comment? See none.
Mr. Chair, I'd make a motion, we adjourn the public hearing and reconvene as a public meeting.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. We're now back to our regular meeting. All right. Felix, anything else you'd like to say?
No, that takes care of it.
All right, I think we're ready for a motion.
I'd be happy to make a motion that we approve the request to vacate the side and rear 10 feet easements within Lot 11 of Cottonwood Hills Estate Subdivision Phase 2, as presented this morning in our public hearing.
I will second that if it's, we're talking about item number 2022-13.
Ordinance 2022-13.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So there's a motion and a second. Roll call vote.
Okay, roll call vote for ordinance 2022-13. Commissioner Four.
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey.
Aye.
Chair Jenkins.
Aye. Passes. Thank you, Felix.
Thank you, guys.
Very good, Commissioners. So we've passed the ordinance at the public hearing, and so we're down to commission comments. Either of you care to say anything? Not going to say anything?
Well, I think Jason Horn left. I was going to give some recognition to him. I was actually in St. George this past weekend, and for those that probably already know about it, it was the Ironman Triathlon World Championship first time outside of Kona for a number of years, maybe forever.
Kona where?
That would be in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. Woo woo.
And our own Jason Horn actually participated in that. And I know he didn't have the best time, but a lot of people didn't. But just to complete that is significant. I mean, I've never done a triathlon. I've done a number of marathons. That marathon was, when I watched it, was the afternoon. It was about 90 to 92 degrees. I can tell you from experience, 90 degrees marathons are not that fun. And
Well, why do you sign up for them then? I'm still
well,
perplexed about that.
that's, maybe that would require a mental evaluation above my
there you go.
pay grade. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jason that, to complete that is amazing, and to see the number of people that were there from all over the world was quite an event for St. George.
In fact, the man and the woman who won it were not U.S. citizens. They were outside of the United States.
I think the gal was a Finland.
Finland, I think that's right. So let's see, that's a 2.4 mile swim,
2.4, 112 bike,
112 on the bike,
and a full marathon. And
26.2 marathon.
Chris Crockett can tell you the length of the marathon.
Yeah, Chris Crockett just finished one on the west coast.
West Coast, but there's no way I could do a triathlon. That's intense.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Well, anyway, you're right. Gage.
Anyway.
Jason Horn needs to be congratulated.
He does.
from us. I think that's cool. Well, very good. Well, with that, Commissioner Harvey, did you have a comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
well, second.
all in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. We are adjourned.